Cops are entrusted with knowing the law. But what happens when they make it up? Here are 4 times when idiot cops tried enforcing laws that don't exist.
You're either going to follow instructions or you're going to go to jail.
What instructions?
Come over
Has
here
he
and talk
broken
to
the
me,
law?
like I said.
Has he broken the law?
That's what I'm asking. What law am I breaking? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Has he broken the law?
You haven't told me nothing.
This is Officer Hamilton from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. On January 2nd, 2021, Laurent Marshall, a resident of Battle Creek, was going to every door around the block in Windtree Townhomes Complex in Battle Creek, Michigan. His pursuit aimed to collect signatures for forming a tenant association to fight crime and illegal activities in society. As he reached the residence of Kimberly Toski for signatures after having collected almost 100 before, he encountered Officer Hamilton with some other accompanying officers. Watch how the interaction unravels.
That's not what you want.
I do too.
Put your hand behind your back.
For what?
Put your other hand behind your
My
back.
kids is right there.
Okay.
You're
You're either going to follow instructions or you're going to go to jail.
What instructions?
Come over
Has
here
he
and talk
broken
to
the
me,
law?
like I said.
Has he broken the law?
That's what I'm asking. What law am I breaking? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Has he broken the law?
You haven't told me nothing.
Look, we don't want.
Soliciting without a permit.
Soliciting what?
Whatever you're soliciting.
So you don't even know what I'm doing.
He's soliciting.
That's why we're
Come
trying
over
to
here and talk to
you.
me.
Just
Thank you.
keep that rolling.
I'm recording. You don't have to get off my porch.
Oh yeah, I really don't care. I'm deep for problems. I'd rather get off the report. So what's up?
If there's problems, if you don't want him doing that, then that can be done. But like, he's not doing anything wrong.
Where's your ID?
He lives here.
Give me your ID.
For what?
Has he broken a law? Is he committing a
ID.
crime?
I just told you.
Soliciting without a permit.
Soliciting what?
Whatever you're doing.
Soliciting. I haven't asked anybody for any money or anything.
Okay.
So what am I soliciting?
Then what are you doing?
Have I asked you? Did I ask you for any money?
No.
So what am I? I'm not
He hasn't tried to
soliciting
sell
money.
me anything.
Yeah.
Then what are you doing?
It's collecting signatures. That's what I'm doing. I can do that.
What?
It doesn't matter. I could do that.
Officer Hamilton accuses Mr. Marshall of soliciting. However, in response, Mr. Marshall tried to explain the purpose of his endeavor and denied the accusation, stating that he hadn't even asked anyone for any funds while collecting signatures. Observe what happens next.
It does matter.
We have a right to-
caller, which is why we're here making contact with you.
Okay. What does the caller tell you? I didn't ask nobody for any money or anything. For what?
Okay, where's your ID at?
See, they ask all the questions, but they don't want to answer no questions.
If you fail to identify yourself, you're going to go to jail.
But he's not committed a crime and he's not doing anything wrong. We have the right. We have the right to petition in this country.
Back, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
Turn around and put your hands
I got
behind
the
your
right to
back. You're under
petition.
arrest.
What am I going to arrest for?
Can I have your badge number,
Hindering
sir?
and opposing. Turn around and put your hands
Hindering
behind your
what?
back.
There's no investigation
Nobody's
because there's
stalking
been no
you.
crime
Nobody's
committed.
stalking you.
Okay, well, don't play with my rights. I need your badge
Turn
number.
around and put your hands behind your back.
I'm
For the
Laurent. I live
fourth
in the front
time,
of
you
there.
are under arrest.
I live in the front up there. I just told you that.
Deputy
Turn
Hamilton,
around
and
No.
who
put
are
your hands
you?
behind your
I'm
back.
Laurent.
Can I have your badge number, officer?
Hands behind your
What is he
back.
asking for? I just
How
told
many
him my
times
name.
I gotta tell you to put your hands behind your back?
Please don't do this right now.
That's my name, right?
How many times are we gonna do this? Turn around. You're under arrest.
So what you gonna do with the kids?
You're under arrest.
I said what you gonna do about my
We'll
kids?
figure that out. Turn around.
You'll figure that out. Seriously? What's he under arrest
There you
for?
go. Let me see this.
Oh, you don't need this.
Give it to me.
Please.
Mr. Marshall was handcuffed and arrested. Initially, he was told he would be arrested if he failed to identify himself. Later, the cops changed the charge to hindering the police's investigation. Watch how the encounter continues.
What's your phone number?
My girl's number is 404
Uh-huh.
740 0517.
I know you're not searching him for no reason. I make sure you're getting this on there, baby. All right, let me see this. Knock that shit off, baby. Stop.
Put your feet in.
Knock on the door. Knock on the door. Knock on the door. Open the door and tell Steve to come out here. Oh, go in there and tell Steve, come out here. Steve, come out. I need you to get the keys and I need you to take these kids up front, or I need you to stand out here and record this.
Alright, hold on. Get some fucking clothes on.
Baby, it's okay. Don't cry. That's why we got cameras.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah, me too.
They always be thinking that they can do what they want just because they white. They're privileged.
Was that necessary? Was that really necessary to do in front of his kids? Y'all is wrong as hell, and he fucking lives here.
Okay.
I got the utmost respect for you. Here's your mom. I got the utmost respect for you officers when you come out here and look out, but he fucking lives here and he was on my porch and he didn't start a goddamn thing. And y'all is wrong. Every last bit of this was wrong and y'all done messed up. You messed up. You messed up. I'm finna take these babies home.
What the fuck's happening now?
They arresting people that fucking live here. Collecting signatures is our legal right.
Mr. Marshall was violently placed in the cop cruiser by the accompanying officer while he was handcuffed. Then the officer makes an effort for Ms. Totsky to identify herself, but she refuses. For those who don't know, according to the Fifth Amendment, citizens reserve the right to refuse identification to law enforcement if they suspect that they will be unreasonably incriminated. Watch how the interaction ends.
Y'all definitely tripping. I'm glad that you was definitely on camera for that too. Hope y'all got some good lawyers. 27 Greenbrier. Tell it here. Let me talk to her.
Here, talk to the lady, please.
We're at 27 Greenbrier. We live in the back of Windtree. Like when you drive this main road to the back and you take a left, we live in the back corner.
How did the boys get there?
They're walking with their pops, getting these signatures, and the fucking police are out here harassing him. And I got it all on camera, but.
The officers then left the scene. Mr. Marshall's kids were dropped home by Ms. Totsky. Mr. Marshall was charged with felony resisting and obstructing an officer. The resisting and obstruction charge clearly states that obstruction includes the use of force or threat of physical interference or failing to follow a lawful command. However, Mr. Marshall did not commit any such actions, and most of the commands by the cops were not lawful. On January 9th, 2021, the charges against Mr. Marshall were dropped, and the officer accompanying Officer Hamilton was placed on administrative leave. If you think this was the only idiot cop who tried enforcing laws that do not exist, wait until you watch this next case.
Keep on getting smart. End up going to jail tonight. What are y'all shooting at?
You can't shoot. I'm shooting my property.
Do you see what time it is?
I'm shooting my property. That's illegal?
It sure is when it's this dark.
This is Officer Samantha Demirtas from the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office. On February 18, 2018, Officer Demirtas arrived at the residence of an individual named Jada Martin in Winnsboro, North Carolina. Miss Martin reported that she had been receiving phone calls that harassed her. The neighborhood of Miss Martin consists entirely of her relatives. When Officer Demirtas arrived on the scene, her relatives were doing firearm shooting practice. Watch how the interaction unfolds when Officer Demirtas hears gunshots.
Today, a girl texted me, and and we were arguing, and she was telling me to come to Walmart. Can you remember Walmart? She was telling me to come to Walmart to fight her or whatever. Let me see if I can call Tay and see if she knows her last name.
Y'all know what's going on?
No.
Central 144. Central 144, I've got several gunshots over here.
Come on, where's 10-something?
Is that you firing over there? Show me your hands. Show me your hands now. Put it down. You have any other weapons on you? Put your hands on your head. Interlace your fingers. Now. You have any other weapons on you?
Nope.
Come over here. Get down on the ground. On the ground, now.
I ain't want to get stopped by the gun.
What are y'all shooting at?
We can't shoot out here.
What are y'all shooting at?
Can't shoot on my property.
What are you shooting at?
We can't shoot out here?
Whose property is it?
My property.
Whose?
My property.
Is it in your name?
Might be.
Keep on getting smart. end up going to jail tonight. What are y'all shooting at?
You can't shoot. I'm shooting my pocket.
Do you see what time it is?
I'm shooting my pocket. That's illegal.
It sure is when it's this dark.
Officer Demiritis argues that it is illegal to shoot a weapon in the dark. However, there is no such law or statute that restricts the firing of weapons after dawn. Officer Demiritis then calls for some backup, and Sergeant Timothy arrives along with another officer.
What's your names?
Wait, turn.
What's your names?
Why do illegal?
Central, I've got 2 black male subjects refusing to identify themselves. Got a shotgun and what appears to be a handgun. Let's make it easy on yourselves. What were y'all shooting at?
We're just shooting.
Okay. What were you shooting at?
My pocket.
Okay. Alrighty. I suggest you not move. Shooting on your property, family's property is no issue. But when you got a deputy out here trying to do a report, it's dark. Common sense. Common sense. You're being detained till I can identify you.
For what, though? What was I detained for?
You're being identified till I can identify who you are and then see if you're also clear. How old are you?
But what was I detained for?
Okay, keep on. What's your name, sir? You have an ID on you?
Snooty.
You don't have an ID on you? What's your name? All right. So I've got it on camera. Let's go. I've got it on camera that y'all are discharging weapons in an unsafe manner in the air.
How you see me though? How you see me in front of the house?
Okay. All right.
Man, bro.
Okay, especially if your grandma says this is her property and y'all's property. I just want to run you and make sure.
I'm just saying though, like, so like, what's the issue with us identifying
Where's the
ourselves?
weed
It's all right.
at? Where's the weed at?
Am I lying?
Somebody's
Where's
got
the
some
weed at? Am I lying? So?
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Anybody got no weed, man?
Can y'all tell me a little bit about what's going on? Because I just got here.
Man.
You don't know?
A lot of bull.
All right. What does that mean? What does that mean, man? Huh? Hey. Hey, man. What does that mean? A lot of bull. Huh? What does that mean?
All right. Taking a report by my car. Taking a report. All of a sudden, they just start letting loose back in the back. I walk back there. They're walking up. And, of course, I had my weapon drawn.
Oh, definitely.
Get down. They put the weapons down. Refuse to themselves. Sit there, nothing but argumentative about it's my land. I can shoot. I can shoot. I don't know what they were shooting at. Grandma claims that they have dogs back there, and I said, so feral dogs? They're running loose? No, they're in the cages. I don't know what they won't tell me what they were shooting at. It was dark, like I said, but they did comply. They put their weapons down immediately, put their hands up where I could see them, and got down on their knees. They just refused to identify themselves.
Okay.
So.
That's fine. They still refusing to identify themselves?
I haven't asked since y'all got here.
I know that one was basically refusing to identify themselves, so I said book them in John Doe. Put a hold on them, book them in John Doe, so they won't tell who they are. They won't fight, we'll fight.
Now I was just over there and she was showing me some of the text messages and they just started letting out. I guess they didn't realize I was here or whatever, but
I've been arrested for
Not identifying yourself.
You see how you look at it? That would even sound right, come on.
Well, that's what she said.
Discharging a firearm at night. You can't discharge a firearm at night. Says the law.
Who gun you hate?
Says the law.
Why would you down there shooting?
Come on, I was on property.
It doesn't matter. You can't discharge a firearm at night, cuz. You can't do that. It's against the law.
What I do wrong?
Discharge a firearm at nighttime. If you want the county, you can go up to and look the county ordinance up.
When nighttime came, y'all should have stopped. No, y'all started before it got dark.
And once the sun go down, you have to stop. That is what the law states. It is another thing by law. If law enforcement asks you your name, you have to give us your name.
That
is by law.
That's
look
by
it up.
Law.
Yeah.
That's by law.
Yes. Look
And
at
under what condition though?
Anytime we make contact.
Anytime.
Anytime we make contact.
So you just hop out the car and ask me.
Yes, I can walk up to you and talk to you on the street and say, hey, what is your name?
I say what? What you say? You said yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is stop and state. This is stop and hop out ID state?
You mean stop and frisk?
No,
That
stop
was
and
your-
ID. For what?
ID.
Yeah, you can't just stop at ID.
Anytime we make contact with someone, yeah, we can't ask your ID.
Sargent alleges that the suspects are required to provide their identification whenever they are asked to do so. However, as previously discussed, the Fifth Amendment protects citizens' refusal to identify. Both the individuals involved in the shooting were taken to jail and were eventually released the next day after being cited for breaching of peace. If you think this was the maximum cops can impose fake laws, then probably you aren't aware of this next case.
When it comes to access control point, which is a security measure, you cannot take video or pictures of a security measure.
Sir, when you are on public property, you can take video and pictures of anything you can see.
If you're on public property
yes, it is.
or not.
It does.
This is Officer Daniel of the Joint Base Police Force. On the 30th of April 2019, an individual who runs a YouTube channel named Accountability Media reached Joint Base Myers-Henderson Hall, Arlington, Virginia, to conduct a First Amendment audit. While he proceeds with his audit, the YouTuber is confronted by Officer Daniel. Watch how the interaction unfolds.
Are you detaining me when you say stand by?
Say again?
Are you detaining me when you say stand by?
Yes, sir. Just stay right here.
Oh, you are detaining me?
Yes, so we can further have an investigation.
I'm just reaching for my phone, nothing else. It is 4:13 p.m. and JBMHH Police Officer Daniel.
Go ahead and give me one after this location.
Is detaining me?
So, do you have a reason you're videotaping an entrance to a military installation?
Not one that you need to know, sir.
Not one that I need to know.
So, what is your rank, sir?
Okay, just stand by. Just wait right here.
Officer Daniel detains the YouTuber while he waits for his superior officer to arrive. However, in the wait for his superior, several other officers join the scene and search the YouTuber. Observe what is about to happen.
You know it's a military base, right?
I'm on the public sidewalk.
Yeah, I know, but this is the gate function. You can't videotape the military base.
Is that the law, or is that just what you're saying right now? It's not against federal law, sir.
I didn't say law, did I?
Right. So your regulations, whatever regulations apply to you on that installation, do not apply to me on this public sidewalk.
To see if I can answer your question. Okay. So there is a congressional letter that is out. I'm pretty sure you don't know which one I'm talking about. The congressional letter states that you can take pictures and video of a building structure and architect. However, you cannot take video or picture of a building access control point or an access control point to a military installation. And what this is an access control point to a military installation. However, with that being said, you can take video of the fence line, which is a structure.
Right.
You can take pictures over here of a structure, which is a wall, which is a structure. However, the report is that you're taking video of a access control point, which is against the congressional letter that is out.
A congressional letter is not a piece of legislation.
Officer Lewis, who later joins in, argues that the YouTuber cannot film the security checkpoint. The officers later point out that it is against congregational letter to film such security checkpoints. However, congregational letters hold no legal value as they are not legislation. Watch what happens next.
When it comes to access control point, which is a security measure, you cannot take video or pictures of a security measure.
Sir, when you are on public property, you can take video and pictures of anything you can see.
If you're on public property
yes, it is.
or not.
It does. You don't have a public incident report that you're gonna file?
There will be a police journal entry that's done, which you can do a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
I've done them before. Yeah.
Okay. You can do that if you want that type of information. Okay.
And
could I possibly ask your name?
Again, I'm not going to get that.
Okay.
And do you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I have committed and committing or about to commit a crime?
At this time, no.
Okay, then I'm not going to identify myself. Yeah, that was unacceptable. I'm sure that you guys are going to take corrective action against those officers that are involved. I'm sure you need to investigate.
If you believe that there was some type of unacceptable action,
I mean, illegal detainment to start out.
I would encourage you. There is a.
I'll be filing complaints, I'm sure, and I might file a lawsuit. But obviously, I'm just telling you, man to man. Clearly, you guys need to get your house in order.
Okay, there again. What do you mean by that?
I mean, you need to take corrective action because you cannot do that to people who are not committing a crime.
Can you be more specific?
You cannot pluck citizens up off a public sidewalk without any suspicion that they have committed a crime, detain them for over half an hour. It was probably 4:50 when you released me. I was detained at 4:13.
Well, to clarify, as soon as I saw that you were in custody,
I understood that you did that, but they did.
I released
your police department.
Okay.
Your police force. I assume it's not a department, but a force.
It's a department.
It's a department. Your police department illegally detained me for over 35 minutes with no reasonable articulable suspicion that I had committed, was committing, or was about to commit a crime. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. Based off of what are you basing that off of?
Because you have told me there's no reasonable articulable suspicion.
At this time, I do not have any, but that does not mean that there.
And none of them were able to articulate any either when I asked them. They didn't tell me a crime I was being detained for.
Okay, where's the legal precedent that we're required to do that?
To tell a citizen what they're being detained for, you have to have reasonable articulable suspicion that and you need to
explain that to that person at that time.
You generally need to articulate.
I'm not going to further.
Well, they said they don't have reasonable. They didn't say they couldn't produce the law. They said they didn't have reasonable articulable suspicion.
So I'm not going to further argue with you.
I don't need to stand here arguing with you either. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm going to take my own action to follow up on this. But I would highly recommend that you take corrective action as well. You too.
After the YouTuber refuses to leave, he is placed under arrest and is handcuffed. He is kept detained in the cop cruiser for half an hour, where afterward he is released. If you think this was the last cop who tried enforcing fake laws, then probably you aren't aware of this next case.
My investigation was that there was an approximate 12-year-old juvenile running around this specific area naked. That's a very serious complaint.
Okay. So call the complainant and figure out, where this child went. We have nothing to do with that.
Okay. All right. Do you have your identification on you?
No, sir. I don't need to identify myself.
This is Officer Weaver from the McKee Police Department. On May 25th, 2022, a YouTuber who runs a news YouTube channel was in his idle vehicle parked in McKee, Kentucky with his children when he was approached by Officer Weaver. Officer Weaver allegedly responded to a call against a naked 12-year-old child allegedly running around the area. Watch how the interaction unfolds.
Let me radio in my traffic to make sure. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good. My name is Officer Weaver, McKee Police Department.
Okay, what's your badge number?
My badge number is 304. What's your name, please?
How do I answer questions. You ran my plate already.
I did not run your plate.
Okay, you can run the plate.
Yeah, I know I can run your plate because I have a legal right to do so.
Is this a traffic stop?
This is, I'm conducting an investigation.
Okay, so I don't need to answer your questions.
Well, if you hinder my investigation, you can be cited for that.
Okay.
Okay. That's the way that it is in Kentucky. When I went through the academy, that's the way that I was trained, is that if I'm conducting an investigation, I have the right to temporarily detain you.
Okay, what's your investigation?
My investigation was that there was an approximate 12-year-old juvenile running around this specific area naked. That's a very serious complaint. Okay. It's not just a, hey, how are you, why are you here? This is a very serious complaint.
Gotcha. Who made the complaint?
I received that call in public service, and I do not have to tell you that.
Okay, so call the complainant and figure out, you know, where this child went. We have nothing to do with that.
Okay, all right. Do you have your identification on you?
No, sir. I don't need to identify myself.
You don't have to identify yourself?
No.
Okay.
You have reasonable articulate suspicion that I've committed a crime?
I do not think that you have committed a crime.
You have a body camera?
I have my body camera on.
Okay, very good.
This time, so
gotcha.
it's recording.
And do you have an incident number for this? Or a CAD number or anything like that?
Dispatch will have a CAD number because I just radioed.
Gotcha.
in.
So this is not a traffic stop. You're just doing an investigation, right?
I am conducting an investigation in reference to the safety of a juvenile.
Gotcha.
Which is a very serious charge.
Okay, so I'm not obstructing you in any way. You can go ahead and do your investigation, but I'm not answering any questions.
You are obstructing my investigation by not answering any questions.
No, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works?
No.
Where did you get your degree? Are you an attorney? Or are you a citizen?
I don't answer any questions.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I am not trying to be difficult with you.
Okay.
I'm simply trying to conduct an investigation. From what I understand, the way that I was trained at the DLCJT Academy in Richmond was that I have the right to detain you temporarily to conduct an investigation. You're refusing to answer my questions, which means you are hindering my investigation.
That's not how it works.
Okay. So, are you the authority on the rules? I'm not. I'm just trying to follow them the best I was trained.
Okay.
Did you create the rules, or?
Do you suspect me of committing a crime?
I suspect. Since I don't have to interrogate you, and I don't have to read you your rights because we're just talking. You're not under arrest. I think that you are being very suspicious in the sense that you do not want to identify yourself. You're creating a certain amount of suspicion about yourself.
Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony?
No, that is not a crime.
Okay.
You're not committing a crime.
Am I being detained right now?
You are being detained.
Okay.
That's right. So I can conduct
For what crime am I being detained?
You do not have to be committing a crime to be detained. I'm conducting an investigation. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you. I mean, I said you haven't committed a crime. Okay. I said, but I'm conducting an investigation.
Okay, so do your investigation.
May I have your name and your identification?
No, sir.
Okay. May I have the child's name?
No, those are my kids and they're minors.
Okay, all right. Okay, and so you're refusing to answer my questions?
Yes.
Okay. So if I write you a ticket for hindering my investigation,
you'll be violating my civil rights and you'll be in civil litigation.
Okay. For doing what?
Am I being detained?
You're being detained because I'm conducting an investigation.
I'm requesting your supervisor now.
Oh, if he is still around, I'll be more than glad to get him for you. I'll tell you what, I'll try to call him on the phone to help you.
No, I don't want to speak on the phone.
Okay. All right.
Officer Weaver argues that the YouTuber is allegedly obstructing by refusing to answer questions and failing to identify. Refusing to answer law enforcement is well protected by the law. The Fifth Amendment protects citizens from refusing to answer questions asked by law enforcement. Watch how the encounter ends.
Maybe he can assist you further in any questions that you may have so that we don't violate your rights.
I don't have any questions. Okay. But if you're detaining me, then yes, I'm requesting a supervisor. If I'm free to go, then I'm free to go.
You're being detained until I can finish my investigation.
Okay. For what crime again?
I've told you several times, I'm I'm not charging you for a crime. I'm simply trying to conduct an investigation to see if a crime has been committed. Therefore, I have a right under Kentucky Revised Statute to temporarily detain you while I'm conducting my investigation. You're refusing to identify yourself, so you are hindering.
That's because I don't have to. I haven't committed a crime.
Okay. Hello? I have a gentleman here who's refusing to answer any of my questions. He's refusing to identify himself. Yeah, he's parked here at the extension office. So, I have spoke with Deputy Bobby Edwards with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and I conferred with him and asked him, you know, I don't want to violate your rights. I am conducting an investigation, okay? And I feel like I do have reasonable suspicion that something could be amiss here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But
like what?
But you have 2 juveniles in your car, in the area that the complaint was called.
I've already clarified that these are my children.
Yes, that's correct.
And you're scaring them.
Well, you know, the only thing that I know to tell you is something I learned a long time ago. I can't provide security, which is part of being a police officer, without some form of, what was the word? Without a little bit of discomfort. That just comes with the nature of this. And I don't mean it. I really don't. I'm simply trying to conduct an investigation. But after speaking with Deputy Edwards and gaining some wisdom from him, okay, I'm not going to step on your rights. And I do not think at this time, okay, from what the sum of everything that I've gathered, I do not think that you've committed a crime, okay? And I don't want to overstep my bounds as an officer by trying to force you to do something, or try to force you to do something that is in direct violation of your rights. I have rights, you have rights. That's the way that I police. I want to be fair. Firm but fair within the law. And at this time, after speaking with Deputy Edwards, I do not feel like that I have enough evidence or probable cause to make you or try to force you to identify yourself, okay? And so with that, I'm going to leave you. I don't know your name, and that's all right. I don't think that you've committed a crime, and I do apologize for inconvenience. That's what the word I was looking for. Sometimes you can't provide security without inconvenience, and that is a part of my job. So, like I said, have a good day, and I apologize for your inconvenience. But I am going to be leaving, and like I said, I don't think that at this time I have probable cause to think that you have committed a crime. So, therefore, I'm terminating my investigation. Okay?
Yeah, I need a CAD number. Can you write it down for me, please?
You can call Jackson County Dispatch 911 and let them know that you were just stopped by Officer Weaver at the Jackson County Extension Office.
Now that's an emergency line. Do you have a?
I do. I have a regular landline if you'd like that. It's 606-287-9979.
Okay.
Okay. As a courtesy to you, if you give me just a second, if dispatch has a CAD up and running at this time, I'll get that for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a CAD number for my investigation.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
After Officer Weaver's superior arrived at the scene, he consulted the matter with him. After some minutes of consultation, the YouTuber is told that he is free to leave and that he isn't liable to identify himself. Subsequently, he is handed a computer-aided dispatch number. The officers leave the scene without further action. It is horrific to see cops try enforcing laws just to prove themselves right. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe for more. Goodbye!